Okay, gang, I'm going to try to get this on video because I feel like I haven't gotten video of some things that I should have. So we are at assembly night for the broken Nexus. Here's the chassis, motherboard, and the new bezel. And some of you sharp-eyed people might actually see something a little different here, but I'm going to wait to describe it for a little while. I have the chassis screwed to the bezel, and my idea is, for getting this all back together, here's the digitizer. I decided to put some double stick tape around the border. Hopefully you can see what I'm pointing at. I can't tell. Around the border of the LCD. The only reason I did that was because it's going to be in a car and it's going to be, mounted vertically, on its side, and I didn't want it to have any ill effects from shaking around. So this is 2mm 3M double-sided tape. Seems pretty sticky. It's nice and thin. It barely goes around the border. I held the glass up. I don't think there's much that's going to show through, because the black border on this pretty much takes up most of the area. So if it does show up, actually once you take that off, it's the tape's clear, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So anyway, here's my plan. I'm going to pull the sticky protector off of the bezel. Well, actually, one more time, I'm going to give this another wipe. I'm not able to get it. I mean, it's really clean, but it's still streaky. I haven't quite figured out how to get it perfectly clean, so I'm really just going to get it as best I can. And again, it's going to be down at the, down arm's length away. I don't think you're going to see any little smudges. So I am going to, not while it's on anyway, I'm going to give it one last wipe, and I'm going to hope that the dust gods are with me and that no dust is going to just fall off, my shelving or whatever. So I'm going to clean it off, peel the protector off, lay the bezel in there. I am going to then peel this side of the sticky tape off, peel off the back protector of the glass, and just jam it on home. And hope that everything stays. There's only about a millimeter gap around this once it's in the chassis. Hope that everything goes together. Hope that this sticks to the bezel, the glass sticks to the bezel, and that'll be just fantastic if all that works just like I just said it. I already see cat hair just floating around me right now, which is kind of disconcerting, but I thought about doing this like in the shower, in the bathroom, like with the shower running, to try to keep dust down, but I don't really, I hate to say this, I hate to sound like I don't care, but I don't really care that much. So okay, I'm gonna stop the video, I'm gonna clean this again, I'm gonna peel this all off, and I'll start the video again just as I'm starting to put it all together, so I'm not wasting too much time here. Okay, here goes nothing. LCD's as clean as I can get it. Just not going to mess with it anymore. I'm going to start peeling this stuff off. Wish I could stick the LCD in before I peeled this off, but that was a no-go. I also started doing something stupid with this plastic, which is making it difficult to get off. Alright, there we go. Point of no return as far as I'm concerned. Alright. Sorry, you might not be able to see all of this, but I'm going to do the best I can. Okay. The wire is through. The LCD is sticking to the frame. That's just awesome. Okay. Okay, it's in there. There's not much else I can do except for pull this tape off. Stuff peels off really nice, the backing. Really hoping that this stuff doesn't cause me any problems, because I don't know that it was necessary 100%. All right, now I got to get that down in there after I peel the plastic off, and then I'm very careful not to touch the glass, because these fingerprints will be in there forever. So I got to kind of get it down in there, and then figure out how I'm gonna line this up. And I'm about to ruin it on video. No idea if that's good to go or not. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video, and I'm actually going to just plug the cables in the back so I don't ruin those, and then put some pressure around this and see what I come up with. Got the power hooked back up. All the cables are plugged in. I think just now, a minute ago, I made the final. It was like the final straw for this phone I'm using to videotape this or record this. I've been toying with switching over to an Android phone, because I'm using Android tablets, and the functionality is more. I never really had a need for the customization and the features, but now I want the NFC flexibility, and I want the internet sharing to work consistently. Nokia, Windows, hello. And I'm trying to put my phones in this little tripod that's meant for holding phones, and it's so stinking heavy. The thing weighs it's like 50 grams heavier than that new the new Samsung, what is it, Galaxy S5 or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so here you go. I got the best shot I can. I'm gonna peel this protector thing off, and I'm gonna turn it on for the first time, and we're gonna see if everything works, and then I'm gonna show you my cool little mod, hopefully. And I haven't tested that either, so, and it's gonna be really hard for you guys to see. I still don't have the back on. It's gonna be hard for you to see because of the angle. Actually, maybe I'll turn the light off. Yeah, that works. Turn the light off. So it's booting up. Here, I'll turn the light on, and I'll peel my screen protector off. I'll wait till it fires up. I'm actually kind of excited. I can definitely see some. I can see some stuff. That little chip is right there, especially when this light is on. It's pretty visible to me. But it was never going to be perfect. I'm convinced that if you want to do this screen replacement thing, obviously it's doable. Here we go. It's working. But I don't know. I don't know that you're ever going to get it perfect unless you have a clean room and everything. It's just really hard to get perfect. So, okay, here comes the plastic. I'm hoping that a lot of these little things go away with the plastic rip here. Nice. There it is. So my first impressions are, it looks pretty good. I'm seeing what might be a little bit of a screen alignment problem here. Can't really tell. But since I can't really tell, is it really that big a deal, is the question. So here we go, it works. Actually, I don't know if that's a screen alignment thing. Oh, it's so hard to tell. There's no way it's over that far. Maybe it's this cheap glass. It's not, doesn't have the same opening. Whatever, doesn't matter. So here comes my neat trick. Are you ready? The one of the big things that everyone complains about when they go to put one of these things in a car is, and you're gonna really put it in your dash, not just stick it on the front of everything with some magnets or whatever, is you lose the access to the power button. I thought about it, and I kind of for a little bit was thinking maybe I could just do without it, and then me kind of being the kind of person that overdoes things, I decided that I could make it work so that when you slide this thing in, I'm already using the pogo connectors on the bottom here for audio and power. So what I'd ideally like to do is have a manual button mounted on my dash somewhere that stays in the car. I can still slide this out and have, you know, take this in the house. I didn't want a plug on the side. I didn't want wires hanging out, but I wanted there to be a hardware button. So what I did is I installed, and I don't know if you can see that. It's probably not focusing. I'll pick the camera up in a second. I installed a second set of pogo connectors. Here's the originals. Here's mine. 4 connectors. My final, when I do this modification to the other tablet that I own, I will not be doing 4. I'll just be doing 2. And here's a first test to see if it works. I'll turn this off. Touch to the 2 pogos. Boom, screen off. Touch it again. Screen back on. Screen off. I'm using a little piece of wire. It's kind of hard to get it in there. Screen on. And if you push and hold, you get your power off. So, and that's working. And the nice thing is my power button here on the side still functions perfectly. So when I bring the thing in the house, or my wife uses it, or, you know, anybody else uses it, it's no problem. I'm gonna pick you up here, and I couldn't tell if it was even in focus, so we're gonna check it out again here. So there's the factory pins, and you got to pardon this one hole. I had a little straggler there, that far right hole. The method I used for lining the holes up was kind of sketchy. My method for lining the holes up in the good tablet, my one I paid for, is completely different. And like I said, I'm only going to have 2 holes, so it'll be pretty easy. And here's what it looks like inside. It's a little janky because I used some hot glue to secure these 2 really thin phone wires, but and I might detail this again in another spot. But basically what I did was, most of the guys will peel this little silver thing off and solder to the ribbon cable. What I did is I got my multimeter and I started probing this this ribbon connector here, and I found out that the 2 connections furthest to the inside of the tablet are for the power button. They're independent of anything else, so, you know, it's not a shared ground, I don't think. I didn't really test that much more. So I went inboard just a little bit more, and I won't be able to get in there close enough for you with this, and plus the hot glue's in there. And what I found was, I found little solder points, and these things were just little balls of solder, and I looked as much as I could, and I couldn't find anything hooked to them. There was no, it didn't look like anything was in there. And even if there was something in there and coated with solder, it's in line with that. So it really didn't matter if I attached something at the solder balls. So I found the 2 solder balls that coincided with the ribbon connector, and I used a magnifying glass, and you might be able to see a couple of the other ones. Come on. Yeah, here, let me get something to point with. The solder balls I'm talking about are like that one right there and that one right there. There's like 6 or 7 of them, or 6 or 8 of them there. And like I said, found the 2 that worked, and I took a picture of it, and I can mark it up if anybody else wants to try this. But so I ran the wires up and around, down under the battery cable, up through here, and then before I put this together, I tinned my custom pogo connectors with some solder to make connecting easier later. The board has a piece of plastic, or the chassis has a piece of plastic right here that doesn't seem to serve any purpose other than providing some mounting points, and I just trimmed it away a tiny bit to make room for these. There should be room for the back cover, and oh yeah, I should mention these are actually a factory pogo pin set from another Nexus. I ordered them on eBay. Somebody was selling them on eBay. It's like a couple dollars shipped, and it was nice and clean. And then I also have the set from the damaged bezel that I'll be putting in the good one, which I think I'm going to section it and only use 2 of those pins, like I said. It's glued in with some ABS glue that I made with acetone and ABS pieces. It's not going anywhere. I put a piece of green felt on the, if you look at the LCD, which you can probably just peek in there now, you can see that right there. That's like a piece of black felt that's on the LCD itself. Well, on mine, there's a piece of green felt just to keep, there's like some shielding on the back of the LCD. I didn't want to shorten anything out. So that's it. That is it. That was my big time waster on this. It was a little bit of work to get this in. You got to do some clearancing of the bezel, but man, if it works, it's going to be pretty cool. Like I said, I don't have any problems with the idea. I just needed to execute it, so we'll see what happens. I can't even see if I'm close to touching it. There we go. So there she is. Yeah, you can't even see that mark when the light's not right on it. Actually, yeah, you can. It's right there. So from here you can't see it, and that's how far away it's going to be. There you have it, guys. There's it's very possible to replace just the glass. It looks like it's working well. I don't see anything other than the fingerprints that I just put on it. There's a weird gap on the right, but I don't think that's me. I think it's right here along this side. I can see a line. It looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like the LCD, a portion of the screen doesn't display, which doesn't make sense. So maybe I'll check the other one. It just maybe looks like maybe I shifted it too far this way. Too late. It's in there, and it's going to do fine, especially because it's going to be landscape anyway. So way less noticeable. Looks fine otherwise. All right. Next steps are going to be car related, hopefully here. Starting to get into the mounting, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.